We are on the money, and you are
All right.
live. And welcome to another day in the Milky Way, everybody. Thank you for coming. We are well and live, and we are ready to. Oh, and we lost David Castle.
Oh man.
He'll be back. Don't worry. Everybody is doing good tonight. Believe it or not, and tonight I got some great guests with me tonight. It was a spur of the moment. Everybody's been busy. Trina's off tonight, so we wish her well. And as you noticed from my trailer, that it was Steve Slightly Slanted Sleuth's birthday. So you all wish him a happy birthday. Send him some love and energy. And my gosh, maybe he'll pop in tonight. Maybe he won't, but we're all telling him happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday.
From the bottom of my heart, I love you, brother. And
yeah. What's good about that is his wife is going to pay for the meal tonight.
that's what I hear. The wife is buying him dinner. So good for him. You know, I'd take that. I don't have a wife, but anyway, I'd let the girlfriend pay for dinner, my birthday. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all good. So, and then I got Big Al on, and I got Doug Stack for a first timer tonight. Thank you for coming, Doug.
You're welcome. I'm got a lot of running around to do, but I can stay for a while.
Ah, that's great. We'll get you on. And David Castle was on like 2 seconds ago, and he dropped. I don't know what happened. But he will be back. But in the meantime, we got some things to talk about. And as you can see, I have my Ana Karana shirt on. And tomorrow we are going to be over at Nina's. Nina the Mystic, if you don't know who she is, Nina the Mystic, and the link is in the description below. You can get your stuff. Get yourself a t-shirt ordered. Come on over there. We're going to have some great giveaways. Nina's giving a bunch of stuff away. I'm giving a few things away. And if you got a shirt, you want to be in the merch party and hoop and holler a little bit, you're welcome to do it. Get a hold of me or Nina, and we'll send you a link, and you can come on over. And if we get too many people, we'll open up another channel, and we'll have both channels going. You all come on, and it's going to be a great time. I know some people will run 2 phones just like this, or the computer and the phone, and they'll be doing the whole darn thing, and it's just really wonderful. And then tonight we got Big Al here, who's going to tell us all about the Milky Way Soul Tribe cards. Believe it or not, there are such things as Milky Way Soul Tribe cards, and he's made them all from scratch with your picture on it. And they're wonderful cards, and he's going to have them here soon. Al, you tell us all about it.
Right. So we had the final proof the other day. They caught a few errors, but we got fixed. So everything is uploaded, ready to go. We should be looking at next week. To my house, and at that point, I'll turn around and promote to you right away, as well as everyone else. So everything is good to go.
Great. So I can't wait to see him. I got if I can pull this up. You just give me a second. Doug, what are you up to tonight? And what I'm kind of curious on what kind of UFO stories you may have.
Well, okay, the first one started when I was about 6 years old. I was outside of my house and I saw this thing flying in the sky. Look, honestly, I don't know if it was me hallucinating or if I saw something, but I could see this craft, and it was so clear to me that I can actually see into the craft, and
wow.
It looked like it actually looked like people, like in the craft, not the typical grays that people describe, but it was actually people walking around in it. So I don't know if it might have been, my 6-year-old imagination going crazy. But at the same time, I'm sure Al knows this because Al's a truck driver, and I did a lot of my truck driving at night. And probably the worst, or the not the worst, but the most scary feeling I had was driving past, I think it was Highway 70 or something in New Mexico. And it was right on the White Sands National Missile area. And driving through there at 2 o'clock in the middle of the night with a big red light flashing, it kind of got scary, because I mean you're sitting there, you're driving, you cannot see anything out there, and it's all it is just a flash of light. And you know, seeing the crafts off in the skyline was crazy, because you don't know what's going on. Things shooting around in the middle of darkness. I'll tell you, I was unnerved at 2 o'clock in the morning driving through there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that, I mean, that seems to be like the big hot spot of UFOs. I mean, you know, it was New Mexico that 1947, wasn't it? You know, that they had the little green men out there, and let me share screen here for a second, and we are going to pull up some stuff. If I got it pulled up somewhere. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's somewhere here. And oh, well, hey, we got the Milky Way Soul Tribe cards here. Al, sorry about that, the thing, but here we go. Here's your Soul Tribe cards going. Now this the back or the front, or this is one of the cards?
It's that's okay. So I've got a new picture up the top left next to Wayne Steiger's Gas Hawk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you mixed it up since I had this one.
Yeah, I actually, I think I sent you the update the other day.
I think you did. This is just an older version. I'm sorry. I got old ones on here, and I got new ones, and you know, I just grabbed a few, and let's see. We're gonna do another one here. I got the best one of all here. Just a second. This is the best.
Well, that would be the one of Brian, I think.
That's right. Here we go. This is our buddy Brian, and he is being the frequency you want to receive. There you go.
That's absolutely.
Ace of Diamonds.
So we still want to do this on July 3rd, I guess, is what the consensus is. Everyone's in agreement on your show Saturday night in honor of Brian, which would be of course the 1-year anniversary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that other picture you sent, that was as of last week. I had changed it.
Okay.
But you know, that's just the outside of the box, you know, the tuck box. But yeah, those are beautiful pictures.
You did a really good job on them. Can't wait to get. I can't wait to get this stuff. I mean, it's all the Soul Tribe members in here that wanted to be, and you still got a second deck going if we get enough for another one next time, you know. So.
Well, I do. I'm working on a second deck as we speak. So whoever wants to be on the second deck, they can send me a picture and their zodiac to lsorrell.com, and I can start because I've already got 4 cards on the second deck. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We can barely hear you. You're breaking up, but
okay,
if you want Al's the stuff, all his information is down below in the description box. I already got it set up. You just click on that. It'll take you to the Crystal Network. It says Al's cards. Click on that. It's real simple. You click the PayPal thing. You get your deck of cards. Everything is great. And you can have yourself a deck of cards. I know they make seem like it costs a lot, but nowadays everything costs a lot. And the next part is if you're getting a deck of cards, you're getting a piece of history. It's one in a lifetime kind of thing. They're all handmade, not handmade cards, but handmade designs. Yeah. And if you don't get them now, guess what? Someday, 20 years from now, they ain't gonna be made. This is like a one-run deal, isn't it, Al?
Yeah, well, don't forget we need 2 jokers. So whoever wants to be a joker on the second deck.
Yep.
Could be a joker on the second deck.
There you go.
You want to be? You want? All right. What's your zodiac?
Leo.
Leo. Okay, Leo the Joker. All right, cool, man.
There you go. Doug, you're gonna be the Joker.
Yeah. Well, you want to be the Joker? That's cool. Now, of course, you're gonna send me that handsome face of yours right now. That with the beard and everything. Yeah. So send that to my Gmail address, lsorello@gmail.com, and I'll start on that one. And then I need another Joker. Okay. So you're gonna be Leo the Joker. All right, that'll work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wasn't here when you guys were starting the whole card thing. I wasn't part of the tribe. I didn't hear about it, but as soon as I found out about it, I made me an order for a deck.
Okay. Of course, right now I've got about $1,400 into this whole deal. So I really need to unload these 100 decks, and that's going to help pay for the second deck, the orders for the second deck. Okay. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it's all been paid for now. So now I'm just waiting for the shipment. And as far as shipping out overseas, okay, you got Delabar, you got Kaz, you got Julianne, okay, you got Nina,
Mandy Moo.
Mandy. Let's see. No, wait. Mandy. No, she's not. She's not on the first day. Let's see who else. Overseas. But I'll tell you what. To ship anything overseas today is insane.
Yeah, a lot of
mucho
dinero, man.
You also got Karen Kasparlov in Canada too. So yeah, the shipping costs are ridiculous overseas or in another country.
I sent some jellies to a buddy of mine over in Alberta right around Christmas. Actually, I sent it the beginning of December, and I think it cost me like $65 to send, and it was only like a 2-pound box. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Shipping is very expensive.
Yeah, shipping is really expensive. Oh boy, is it expensive. Trust me, I just mailed out some stuff the other day, and I was looking at the lady behind the counter saying, "What are you? What am I shipping?"
Yeah. Well, that's why I say if I can unload these 100 decks, set the shipping, it'll be a wash. In other words, it'll pay for all the shipping, and it'll help on the second deck. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we need let's see, 4, 5. Doug, you're 6. So we need 50 more folks now, and that would include the other Joker. Because I got now with you, Doug, I got 6. So that's and then you get the 2 Brian Barnett wild cards too. See, because on the game of spades, each person can have 14 cards because you got the 2 Jokers and the 2 Brian Barnett all powerful cards. Yeah. So it's 56 total on each deck.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards in the deck, and
yeah, well, I mean, you got 50 people who are. How many subscribers do you have now, Robert?
Like 440 something. So
right.
445, something like that.
Yeah. So that's a lot of folks who are watching this channel right now. They're just not on chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So out of that many, you would think between that and Wayne's channel and Andromeda 7, you would think that you could get 50 folks on the second deck.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is just getting you know, people with money, I see, you know, there's people in the comments have been saying, you know, they would like a deck of cards, but they're working 2 jobs, or, hey, you know, they're not this or that or the other. And, you know, I can't blame them. You know, I mean, I am just very lucky that I have a really good job. You're lucky you have a good job. Doug, you're a truck driver. You're lucky you have a good job. David, I don't know what you actually do. So
I'm actually an out of work truck driver right now because my injury 24 months ago, but I'm not doing as bad as I can be, or I could have been. So
yeah.
I'm in a pretty decent situation right now.
What did you get injured on the job?
Yeah, I wrecked my truck, and I sent Robert all the pictures, and it wasn't a good thing. I shouldn't have been alive today.
Yeah.
But I mean, I came out with very little injury.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. You were lucky, man. I tell you.
Yeah.
It was a significant injury to my leg. I broke my ankle, and a bone in my foot had flipped over, so they had to surgically repair it and screw it into place. And I'm still off the truck about now, but I'm getting to the point where I can get my medical card back soon, hopefully. And I don't think I'm going to be going over the road anymore, but I've gotten some offers to come to work locally.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely other jobs and other departments. Sure. People don't realize that you know, you get in and out of these trucks all day, and it's not like a car or an SUV. Okay, if you don't have 100% contact with that truck when you step in and out, and you slip and you fall, you're falling 3 feet. And I know someone who broke their ribs and collarbone just from slipping and not grabbing onto that handle. They got coffee in one hand and the phone in the other, you know. And yeah, you can really get hurt.
Yeah, there. Can you see that? There's a yeah. Boy, Doug, I tell you, after I seen those, there was more pictures, guys, but this one shows it all. If you can't see that, boy, I tell you, that's pretty wrecked up.
And luckily, I did not hit one person. I hit the median and then some culverts. I was on I-10 in Tallulah, Louisiana. And luckily,
was that where was that at? Was that on I-10, Louisiana?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I-20.
I-20, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was all Jersey barriers all over the place. I mean, what
they have those. They had just recently put in those string barriers, the metal.
Yep.
And I went across oncoming traffic and into the culvert. Yeah, I had a sneezing attack, and pretty much I couldn't control it. My whole body went over to the left, and I just, you know, it was not a fun ride. Let me tell you about that.
Did you stop sneezing?
Yeah, well, after I hit my head on the, I had my seatbelt on, but I still ended up hitting my head on the overhang above the driver's seat. So it was I was knocked out pretty much most of the way.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, the wreck that you and I have seen on the road is so ridiculous. And I mean, like just like today, you know, there was a 1-ton dually hauling a car trailer with a nice expensive Mercedes SUV in the back. The trailer was on top of the SUV on the left side of the highway on the grass. I'm thinking, how did you flip it? How did you do that? You know?
Wow. With those, I never wanted to haul any car haulers, or I didn't want to haul any cars because those they have such low ground clearance. I couldn't see how they would flip it.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I see wrecks so much going from East Coast to West Coast. It's incredible, really is. So, but me and Perry, we got it down to a science now. You know what I mean? So we no wrecks, no tickets. So
and that was my first and only wreck in 10 years of driving a semi truck. And
right.
you know what? It was when the EMT got there, he said he asked if I was all right, and I said, well, I'm breathing, so yeah, I'm all right. He said, well, good, because the last person who did this wasn't breathing when we got to him.
Yeah.
So I had some people above looking over me and protecting me through that whole situation.
Yeah. Thank God that turned out, that you're still breathing, you're still alive, you're recovering.
Mm-hmm.
I got a doctor's appointment on Monday. I look at a rotator's cuff, my left shoulder. So
and that's rough too, because you got to use your arms to get up into the trailer, into the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rough injury to have.
Well, that's all the landing gear on them trailers. There's some of them, as you know, they seize up, and you got to put all your body weight to release them. And I've got a few design ideas to solve that problem, but because that's my background, is mechanical engineering. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit and see if I can help out on that.
Hey Al, I've had 2 rotator cuff surgeries, and they're not really bad, but you'll have to probably sleep in an armchair or a lazy boy for about a month just to keep the pressure off of it.
Yeah, well, I had the right rotator cuff done about 5 years ago.
I don't know if you can see. If you can see that scar I got right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to have 2 of them done when I was working. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had the right shoulder done, and now my left shoulder is bothering me. And the MRI shows a 2 centimeter separation on the middle ligament, because you got 4, right?
Yeah.
So one right in the middle going down is a 2 centimeter. So I'm wondering if they can use a cadaver to connect that back together. I don't think they can stretch that back together. What do you think?
I don't know. I'd have to see it and look at it. I was a nurse for a little while in training, but I never got that deep into it. So
yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe I can heal it through my mind and separate the fact that it takes a doctor to go in and cut you open. You know what I'm saying?
Program your water.
Yeah, there you go.
To heal and restore you. Right when you're pouring it out, say, I want this water to heal and restore me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There you go.
Intentions.
There you go.
Well,
take the right vitamins and minerals, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about the vitamins and minerals.
Speaking of UFOs on the topic tonight, there's a lot of strange looking saucer shaped clouds out there in New Mexico, California. I'm telling you guys, and we see this stuff all the time. It's like, really? Are you just sitting there hiding? I mean, are they cloaked or what? Because it looks like flying saucers.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's like all by itself. Just this one cloud sitting there. It's like, dude, I mean, really?
You're gonna have to take some pictures of that, Al. Send me. We got about a month before they're supposed to have the disclosure open. But before the month is over here, I got to say hi to everybody that's in the chat, because we've been chatting along and we haven't said anything about anybody. And they're all in there listening to talk. So I'll just go through the list really quick. We got Max Visions in the room, and he says there is going to be no disclosure. It's all lies. And Teresa's in the house, and she shared this out. So thank you, Teresa, for doing that. Pamela Jean's in the house. We got Peter Meteor's in the house. Renee Hutchinson's in the house. Elderberry, hey, Elderberry is in the house. We have Joanne Dancing Gypsy, who's in the house. Deborah Tucker, Susie Q, Jill Jarrett. We have Deborah Truax, and I always screw that up. And that must be French, like Truax. You know, I don't know. Isn't that Peter Sellers who says it like that? We have I see Lucky Stone was in the house, and Brenda Milky's Bomb's in the house. And if y'all didn't know, tomorrow it would have been Brian's birthday. So
it is Brian's birthday.
Good wishes to Brian, who's up there, our friend, and took the pathway up, or who knows? He's right here with us. I know he's right on my shoulder here, pointing me in the direction when I make all those wonderful videos. He says, pick this one and pick that one. I tell you, I couldn't do it without him. And let's see, who else do we have in the house? I think, I'm sure I missed somebody. Gaza Cav was in the house. Ed Hagel's in the house. I know Gaza had, and Raised by Giants, Ryder Lee's in the house. He's listening. I think he said he was working or something too. So anyway, he won't be in chat so much, but I know he's listening, and thank you for coming. I really enjoyed when he was on the show last time, and that was awesome. And hopefully I can get on his show and we'll have a good discussion about something. And what I wanted to say, Deborah Truax says, you got it right. Oh, I did. See, I got it right. Oh, I gotta channel my inner French. You know. And the Lady Pearl Jones is in the house. I got my own disclosure popping on the Facebook page, she says. Gaza, do you got any good stories of UFOs? If you had, give me a thumbs up. I'll send you a link and you come on. Isb9, who's changed his name again, or I think Isb963. Yeah, there you go. Big words, a lot of numbers. Anyway, anyhow, the whole thing is we got a lot of stuff to go through, and I want to show you some pictures of some stuff. Now, my question to you guys is, who and where do you think these UFOs, and when did they start?
I think they've always been here.
And I think, Al, I think you are right. Look at here, from this here thing here, discovery of evidence surrounding 1897 UFO crash baffles scientists. Now, that was back in 1897. Now, do you really think back in 1897, before the airplanes and stuff, these people probably knew that there was something flying in the sky and they couldn't blame it on a jet or an airplane?
Right.
If you go back to the petroglyphs show flying saucers and other things. So it's been here as long as we've been here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't also Van Gogh put a couple in some of his paintings?
Absolutely. And and we could go back into the Indian legends back in the day with the Vamanas. Here's a picture of a Rukama Vamana, and they drew pictures of this, sketches. Obviously, they had been in there. You can't say they hadn't been in there. If they hadn't, how else would you know what this thing looks like? I mean, here's a diagram of the inside of one and how it's working. I mean, they could have just made it up, but this was made, maybe hundreds of years ago. So you can't argue with that. I mean, Deborah Truax, 124 years ago.
Well, I got my big binoculars here to look at them when they show up in New Mexico. These are big boys.
Shit.
There you go.
You ought to be able to see Saturn with those things. Still be big work.
Now here's a picture. See, now this is where people might have got screwed up. They had these big giant balloons at one point in time with propellers on them. And, or, was that a balloon, or did they see a UFO that looks similar to that? But I mean, doesn't that kind of look out of place? But see, now this one here, you can see that that's actually a balloon. You see the little anchor. The people aren't afraid. They're all standing around. This is the big difference between that and something else. Now, did you guys ever hear about the Battle of Los Angeles? This one fascinates me all the time.
Yes, I've heard of that, and it's probably still going on today.
Yeah, well, here, Battle of Los Angeles was in 1942. And this is where they'd seen, they were all prepared for the Japanese to invade California. They seen this thing in the sky, and they showed their lights. And at that point in time, they had stuff, guns and stuff to shoot at this thing because they thought the Japanese were going to invade the United States. And they shot and they shot and they shot. They shone lights. Thousands and thousands of people seen this thing, and yet they could not shoot it down. Now, if that doesn't explain, and this is the picture, here you go. They had pictures of it. So if you don't, and yet there was no such thing as UFOs. Remember, no such thing as UFOs. You're all just dreaming. There's no such thing as UFOs.
Well, technically anything can be a UFO. If you don't know what it is, it's unidentified to you. So it's a UFO.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it has to be alien.
That's right. Well, then we get up to this point in time. I don't know if you guys all remember this. Washington, D.C., July 12th, 1952. And this happened for days and days at a time. It was on all the papers. The UFOs went around the Capitol. They were seen by, hundreds of people, pictures all over the place. Did you know that the CIA or the FBI or whatever went around and bought up all those newspapers so that people didn't get to see them? I mean, if they're not trying to cover something up, this stuff has been out there for years. And disclosure, is it coming? My own opinion, I think it's going to be more lies. I think they're going to say, well, there could be. They're going to come out with something like maybe there could be, or, well, we just don't know, or, there's no such thing as little green men, blah, blah, blah.
The disclosure they're going to have is pretty much a bunch of papers with a black line through everything, where it's everything is redacted. Only, we saw it on such and such a date. That's their disclosure. That's what they're good for, really.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Crap.
Yeah. I think they'll definitely use it for fear and division, just like they use everything else for fear and division to be able to control. Yeah, make money off of it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be something to make, Werner von Braun, who was the Nazi scientist who came to the United States and then made all the rockets and stuff for NASA. And he said that eventually someday they will make, a fake alien invasion to scare the public and make them do what they want. Now, he said that years ago.
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah. And then here we go. Here's more pictures of Vimanas or whatever they were, in these Indian drawings. And you can see they're whatever they are. It's just crazy stuff, man. So this has been going on for thousands of years, probably. This guy, we all know who this is. This is Admiral Byrd, and he got famous by going to the North Pole and going to Antarctica. And then what did he say? What do you know the story behind it, David or Doug?
I think he was thrown out of a window, wasn't he, somewhere?
Yeah,
I
eventually.
seem to remember. I don't know if it's correct, but I believe he was over the North Pole, and supposedly he went into a hole in the North Pole and into like an inner world.
Yes, they said that his plane was flying and that the aliens came up and like with a tractor beam and pulled him down into the hollow earth. And they, he had conversations and talked with them, and he's seen green trees and things like that, down there. They had a whole society, and it's actually a proven fact that he was out longer than what his plane could fly in fuel. So, obviously he wasn't flying the whole time, or something along the way happened. And then, of course, where do you think he went after that? He went to this place right here, Antarctica. And he took, that Operation High Jump, and he took all the ships down there, and then they had the battle of, Antarctica with the aliens apparently, and he did a bunch of stuff down there. Well, in the meantime, while he was up there exploring the North Pole, if you didn't know, they were down, Germans were down here exploring Antarctica, and they were making, bases and things like that. They were, there's a lot of weird stuff going on down there. I would suggest y'all check it out, look it up. There was places called like New Berlin, even after the war. It was a proven thing. And the question is,
there's still a lot going on in Antarctica to this day. And, if we'll ever know, that's another story. But the governments are doing something in Antarctica. Now, if it's with your aliens or they're just experimenting some other way, we don't know. But they're still pretty active down there.
Absolutely. And here's the big question: are they flying around in one of these things? I mean, look at that. There's one of the saucer ships of the Nazis. Come on, is it real? I don't know. I mean, it pretty much looks like a real photo. It could be, and then again, it might not be. I can't say one way or another because, but there's a lot of photos out there. There's a lot of descriptions out here. Here's another set of all these different ones. Where did they get these pictures from if they didn't make these machines? You know what I'm saying? They're all fake then? It's a good, it's one of those things, and they're all German made. This one here down in the corner looks like a guy actually touching the thing. That would be kind of hard to fake. I mean, another guy standing on one. That would be kind of hard to fake. I don't see him just building these things for fun, especially in the middle of a war. That would be kind of silly, if you know what I mean. Here's let's see. We got, here. And then of course you got the detailed drawings of them. Here looks like a guy sitting in one, and then the little doohickeys along the side, which show how it's balancing in the air, and it could be all as simple as that. I don't know. Do they all look round and saucer shaped? Possibly, possibly not. I mean, here we go with the ones everybody sees nowadays, and that's this one. And and it just happens to have a patent number on it. Go figure. You know, now is this made up or is this fake? I don't know. You be the judge of that. But it doesn't seem like they would have a patent number at publication. And here it is. It looks all authentic to me. You know, now is this real? Well, let's see. We will look and say, there. Does that not look like this? Gee, looks like they patented it and actually made one. Go figure, right? So Doug, what kind of shape did you see of
I've seen different shapes. I've seen, like, the one that I saw when I was 6 years old. That one was the classic, you know, circular one, but it looked like it had windows in, and like I said, I thought I saw regular people in there. But I've seen cigar shaped ones. I've seen triangle shaped ones. I've seen boomerang shaped ones. It's not just one specific kind. It's a bunch of different kinds.
Yeah. Here's a cigar shape. I wonder if I can. Oh yeah, here's a Nazi bell. That was a famous one they all talked about. Oh, here's one where the airplanes are flying. You know. Oh, here's remember this? This is that famous photo of the guys in what place is that? New Mexico. Oh my gosh, it slips my mind. Roswell, yes, yeah. Roswell, the famous Roswell photos of the parts of the UFO.
Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and I heard of it a long time ago. It probably happened in the 80s or the 90s, early 90s. Was in Yaphank, Long Island. They had supposedly a UFO crash in the Pine Barrens. And when people went to go check that out, you know, the government was all over it, you know, blocking off. Now, I grew up on Long Island, probably about 35 miles from where that happened, and the Brookhaven National Labs, which is, that's another story. They do some weird stuff. It's kind of not exactly like Area 51, but close. They do some shady stuff at Brookhaven National Labs.
Yeah.
I mean, Roswell is the one that everybody knows about, but they also had the one in Yaphank. And when things finally cleared up, they had some people go out there with Geiger counters and everything, and the radiation that was coming from the crash site was, you know, through the roof.
Yeah.
So no telling what that actually was.
Yeah, well, they say a lot of people when they see these things, they have a lot of, you know, they get radiation poisoning and things like that, and it's like.
And then of course the Phoenix Lights in 1997, and it happened recently too. The Phoenix Lights, where 20,000 or more people had called in.
Yeah, exactly. 20,000 people seen it, and it never happened. Yeah, never happened, but 20,000 people seen something. Now, come on. What does the government look at you and say, oh, you people are just stupid, don't worry about it? You know what I mean?
It was the Chinese lanterns they let go. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Lucky Stone says, I think the aliens started visiting after Earth's atomic bomb blast in Rajasthan, India in 8,000 BC. Which could be true, you know. I mean, you know, I know that obviously the aliens have been here for a while, and before there was cameras, because people painted pictures of them, or at least versions of those pictures, and those, you know, those things have happened, could happen.
I'd go as far as saying that us now, we're not as advanced as some other places, you know, some other times. Because if you do look at like the Aztec drawings, or the petroglyphs, and other petroglyphs, it kind of shows people that are in a craft that, you know, could actually live, could actually have gone to space.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think people have went to space already. They're just, you know, they're not telling us. And I've done some research on that stuff with the going to space, and there's radiation out there from the sun. They tell us the radiation is poisonous to us, but somehow, they have enough shielding on these little tin can spaceships to protect those people and so forth and so on. And I'm thinking, well, and then when you get onto the moon, what do you get there? And there's no oxygen. So how does the stuff burn? How do you get the ship to ignite the rocket fuel? And that's a lot of rocket fuel to carry with you to get to the moon. And then not only get to the moon, but come back.
Well, I mean, I don't want to even think about it, that I know the answers to that. And you talk to a bunch of different people. Some people say, "Oh, well, we've never been to space because the Earth is flat." That's funny. Then
Yes.
then you get some of the scientists, and they were like, "Oh, well, back in 1969, we had the technology to go to the moon and come back, but yet today we don't."
Yeah.
It,
How
yeah,
is that? How's
it
that
doesn't make
possible?
sense.
Yeah, like you had it and then you lost it. I mean, that to me just seems a little bit silly. You spend all that money on that, and then you what? Lose it? Come on. I know the government likes to throw their money away.
Or you tell the citizens that you lost it and you're actually up there right now doing stuff.
Yeah.
We have no way to know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We just have to go by the propaganda that the news information sends us. And then we sit by, this is the funny part, we sit by patiently and wait. And then hope that they come out and tell us that we're going to give you a little bit of information, and we're all like sitting on the edge of our seats going, ooh, this is great. This is great. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
is it really great? Or are we just silly stupid for believing it all?
I really want to know what they're doing with all that money. We won't ever know, but I want to know where all of our money is going.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like Al was saying earlier, something about the cargo containers, and he says, hey, the cargo containers are not there. And I've heard other things on the news about the cargo containers being gone. Well, where'd they put all those cargo containers? Come on, you know how big a cargo container is? And if you lost 20 or 30 of them, or 40 or 50 or 100 of them off a big boat, you probably wouldn't notice. But apparently, according to the news articles I've read, said that there's 1 million of them gone.
Yeah. Yeah, there's where'd they all go? There's thousands of them. Where'd they go?
Yeah.
They had to have gone underground somewhere.
Yeah. Because if they all disappeared in one big area, they would be able to see it in satellite. Somebody was saying, and people have been looking and they haven't seen anything. So, that's one of the questions is where did it go? Here we go with one of these things. I don't know if any of you people seen this stuff, but this is really interesting. Back in the 40s, when the Nazis were doing their thing, they had these big, giant, just one wing airplanes. And guess what we're flying today? We're flying the big one wing airplanes. Isn't that ironic how that works? Thought you'd all enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, didn't Will Smith fly one of those circular things in one of the movies?
Yeah, Independence Day, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, Peter Meter says they lost 7 trillion in the military budget before 9/11. Yeah, that's right. Where did all that money go?
Mhm.
And are they, I mean, it just, they tell us not to be conspiracy theorists, but hey, if you keep doing the, oh, my light stuff is, oh, there we go. If you keep doing and spending the money, we got to start wondering where all that money goes. It's like this last stimulus bill they did. They did that stimulus bill, and then they said, "Wow, we're going to give you all what 14 was it $1,400 they gave everybody or something?" And then they said, "Well,
1,400.
only like a third of that went to this to you guys, and then the rest went somewhere else."
Yeah.
Out of $4 trillion.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then we're getting letters in the mail. We're getting letters in the mail now. If you get the jab, they give you more money. So they're doing anything they can. They're offering you more money to get the jab, and that's just crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I don't understand it. There's something fishy going on. That's all I can say.
That's illegal. It's buying votes.
Yes. Well, isn't that Gavin Newsom guy in California? He's trying to get reelected, and and he's given money now to the people just before the vote to get rid of him or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's your picture. Your saucer crashed in the New Mexico desert. Look at, here's the little aliens laying out there. Nah, I doubt that's the real photo, but it is a pretty good representation of that. Gotta love that. Oh, and Project Blue Book. They actually had the Air Force have this book, and they obviously must have thought and put some effort into it to have a whole project with people working on it, spending our tax dollars on this stuff. They didn't, and then they kept doing this for years. It wasn't like a 2-day project. They did this for years, so there must have been something to it. They don't do things because they ain't gonna go. If they're chasing down aliens, how come they don't have a research group chasing down ghosts? Think of how valuable military ghosts could be. They could just go right through your wall and into the next room, see what they need to see, and then come back through the wall. And
well, that's what remote viewing is about. They're doing that.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah. And Max, who was in the house here earlier, he says he's got that down pretty pat. So if you haven't checked Max Vision's site out, it's all about trying to remote view. So if you learn how to do it really good, you could remote view the alien bases, or maybe the U.S. Air Force bases. How about that?
Yeah, but you got to be careful with it, because I mean, the CIA and everybody has been doing it for so long. I'm sure that if somebody's remote viewing, they could figure it out. And hey, I don't know. There's I guess you can cut a string to where you don't come back. We don't know what the CIA is capable of.
Yeah, so the men in black show up at your house, knock at your door. You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that. So, but anyway, here's a picture of the different types of saucers that the Germans may have had. I mean, it just makes you wonder if they got that many versions of them. Nah, they weren't building them. And then the next part is why were the governments of other countries working so hard to get that information? Why were they working so hard to catch those scientists? Usually they could have just sent planes over there and bombed them all and been done with it.
Why did the American government take all the scientists in?
Yes.
All the German scientists after World War II. They
took
them all in.
and then they made them into NASA. And then they built all the rockets to go to the moon and things like that. Gee, go figure. There was nothing funny about that at all, right? Nothing.
Well, why
fishy.
why are they still using rocket propellant to show the masses
Yeah.
when back in World War II you already had gravitational propulsion from World War II. So
Yes.
why are they still using rocket fuel?
Yeah. Yeah. And Werner von Braun, he even said when he was doing his thing that there was no way that you could take enough rocket fuel and go to, the moon and to Mars and everything like that. You'd have to have too big of a ship, blah, 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 blah. And I just, I agree with that. And then the shielding and all this other stuff. How do you protect yourself from all those radiation rays? How do you protect yourself from the space junk out there? And think about it. They're saying that you're traveling at 17,000 miles an hour, right? Well, what if there's a little bitty rock out there, a little bitty meteor traveling through space at 20,000 miles an hour, and it hits your 17,000 miles an hour spacecraft, that's like built like a tin can, and it hits it.
Yeah.
Wow. It'd be like somebody shooting you with a bullet.
That's why I don't understand in the International Fake Station. You get all these meteors flying around. You mean to tell me, or even the Hubble telescope, how is it possible that none of those rocks have ever hit any of the instrumentation? I find that highly unlikely that it can survive for that long.
Yeah.
Or even better yet, the Hubble telescope the Hubble thing that went out, it's how many miles away? It's past Pluto now. You're telling me that we had internet to beam that stuff back to us, 40, 50 years later? I mean, I don't understand it.
Yeah, well, they say these signals take forever, to go back and forth, like to the moon and back. And I'm thinking, okay, I had this argument with somebody one day, and maybe you guys are way smarter than me, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to point any fingers. But anyhow, the point, because if I point like this, there's some pointing back at me. Anyway.
The real funny one is when they say, well, we had the technology to go to the moon years ago, but we lost all that data. But we're going to Mars in 2 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And but here's the thing is, okay, when you're just imagine, now they're talking between the moon and the earth. You got the moon and the earth. If I got anything here to supplement, but anyway, you got the moon and the earth, right? And you're going to talk between here and here, right? Now, I know as well as you guys do that if I'm going to talk with, say, like a walkie-talkie, those waves of the walkie-talkie, you got to be like sight, to see, because anything that gets in the way, it breaks your signal, right? Okay, that's simple 101 class. We're going to do 102 class now. 102 class says that if I have a radio like FM, the waves travel like this, right? And we get really good FM signal until it gets so far, and then it shoots off the end of the earth because the waves go like this. And now the AM has big waves like this, and they bounce off the top of the clouds or the atmosphere or whatever, and they go down. And if anybody else knows any more about this than I do, let me know, because I don't know that much. So they bounce off and they have the bigger waves. So AM carries for a longer time. That's why when you're in the mountains or somewhere else, those AM waves go into the mountainous areas and you can still get signal, right? But yet after a long time of bouncing and going like this, when you're 100 miles away or so, that signal ain't so good anymore. Okay, now here's your moon and here's the earth. Now the moon is supposed to be 250,000 miles away, right? Now I can see if you're on the earth and you got a really powerful walkie-talkie or radio, and you're going to boost out this huge signal 250,000 miles on the waves that go like this and gets over to the moon, right? And the guy says, hello, now you get the guy on the moon, and he's got to have a really big ass radio to shoot a wave 250,000 miles to get to the earth. Now, I know that I can't even get to the radio station 100 miles away. This is 250,000 miles away. Now,
Houston, we have a problem.
Now, please, somebody explain to me why that signal. I know they say it takes a long time, like 3 minutes, for the signal to get to 250,000 miles. But I know that if you're going to have that far distance on the Earth, you need little booster stations along the way. So as the repeater stations, like the little ham radios, they have repeater stations all over, and you can talk to somebody all the way around the world if you're hooked up to a repeater. Now, here's the thing. When they're flying the spaceship through space, they're like, drop another one, drop a little repeater, drop a little satellite here so we can make contact. We got to string the wire. We got to string the wire between here and the moon.
Well, it's all entertainment. I mean, it's all part of the entertainment to keep the masses, entertained. Okay, because we really don't know. You really don't know unless we tried it ourselves. See?
Yeah. This is true. Absolutely. David Castle, I'm sorry, but have you seen a spaceship yet? Have you seen?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a picture of one, but right before we were coming on, it was loading up and it was taking too much resources to run this and that. So next time I'll have it better prepared. And I've got a little picture. Teresa and Michelle, both of them, I sent them the picture and both of them zoomed in, and you can really tell that there's something there. And I saw it was something there. I was shocked that I got it on a little camera phone. But
nice.
Yes, and the best one I've ever seen, it was probably about 8 or 10 blocks away from here, and I was driving my car. It was back when I smoked cigarettes, and I was on my way to the store, and on this hill, it's kind of wavy. It's called Crooks Street, Crooks. You can look at it on our map, and it goes like to the east, and you go up a hill, and when I got halfway up that hill, there was a light there, and I really didn't notice it at first until it shined kind of in my eyes, and I got up to the stop sign. I thought it was just like a regular street light, but when I got to the stop sign, I looked over, and it was floating above like the houses and the tree line. It was about maybe between 2 and 5 blocks away from me, and it was you could even tell what shape it was because all you could see was light. It looked like a big, huge blob of light. That's all it was. And it was floating along maybe 10, 15 miles an hour. I was doing less than 25 because that's what the speed limit there is. And then when I saw it, I started crawling, and it was just barely moving. And then maybe after I thought, oh shit, why aren't you filming this on your cell phone? I reached in my pocket to grab my cell phone, and as I was pulling my cell phone up, I kind of dropped it, but right there in that little tray. So it only took me a second, and then it shot off, and it was gone. And it shot off so fast that you couldn't actually see it. All you could see was the lights when it was lined up. Or I said it was only light. You saw the tracer. It was so fast, it was totally out of eyesight, and you just saw the light tracers from it and which way it went.
Wow.
Yeah, it went from 0 to holy shit in about 2 seconds. It was just gone.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, David, you said that was on Crook Street?
Crooks Street in Ashland, where I live.
That's not in DC?
No.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. I understand no, I just said that because you can look on the map here and you can see that there's a kind of a wooded area, and then there's houses there, and it was probably the size of a school bus. Maybe
Wow.
it wasn't quite the size of a house, but
Mhm.
I mean, it was floating just barely, maybe 250 to 500 feet in the air, right above. I mean, nobody noticed it. I guess I was the only one looking for it.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
ones I've seen, I've seen some that they say are satellites because they're real high up.
Mm.
But I've seen some as low as probably 50 to 100 feet up.
Yeah.
And when you see that's when you try to question your sanity, because it's like, I know my eyes are seeing something, and I know it's there. There's no noise, no whatsoever, and I don't know. You had that experience. You look at this object that's in the sky, and you pretty much forget about everything else. It's like it kind of wants to
Yeah.
communicate.
You don't think about getting your camera. You're like, holy, I gotta watch this. I can't miss it. I gotta get this. You don't think I mean, I thought immediately I would think about that,
Yeah.
but it didn't even pop in my head until it took maybe 10 seconds for it to go from me seeing it to not being able to see it anymore. And probably 8 of those seconds, I wasn't even thinking about taking pictures of it.
And 8 of those seconds, it felt like 8 minutes.
Well, no, I went by quick because I've seen lots of them. I go out every night and I look at the sky, especially if it's warm. I don't do it so much in the winter because I don't like cold air. But I'll go outside in the summer and stand for an hour or 2 hours. And I'm telling you, if you have a clear sky and you've got 20 to 30 minutes, don't try to look at the whole sky. Just look at one place in the sky, pick out like the Big Dipper or the Pleiades, and just stare at that area for about 20 minutes and see if you don't see like 2 or 3 questionable things going on in that amount of time, because there's that many of them up there. Yeah. If you try to look at the whole sky, you're not going to see it. You're not going to try to concentrate on one thing and concentrate on that and see if that doesn't work a lot better for you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I have a good one here from somebody who knows. Peter Meteor says radio stations use megavolt transponders. I guess Voyager had a super transformer strapped to it to create 60,000 or 600,000 volts from a 12-volt battery on board. And Joe Sapien's in the house, who says, I used to be a radio operator. This was a decade ago, though HF, VHF, and UHF frequencies behave differently. Deborah Truax, also about a year ago, she had an encounter. About a year ago or more, I saw one in front of me in the sky that when I looked at it, it was behind me in what seemed like a split second. So there you go. And anyway, our time is getting a little long. I know Max Vision is doing his remote viewing class, so I wish you all to go over there and support him. Remember to join me and Nina tomorrow on her merch party that she's having on her channel. Go all over there. David, you gonna come?
Absolutely.
Great.
It.
I'll make sure you got a link. You got a link yet?
No, I haven't checked.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll make sure I send you a link. Gotcha. I got a link. Anybody else that wants to come, send me a note, or Nina, and I'll send you a link. She'll send you a link. Well, everybody can come, no holds barred. It's going to be a lot of fun. She's going to give away prizes for just being in the comment section, I guess. She's going to have drawings and things like that, and free card readings. So come on over, chit chat with her, see what kind of fun we're going to have. It's going to be a blast. I got a couple more stickers that I'm going to give away, and she's got a lot more stuff to give away, shirts, things like that. Oh, it's going to be great. Cups, mugs.
Send me a link. Send me a link. I'll go on.
Oh, there you are, Al. I seen you're in the dark. Yeah, we'll send you a link. No problem. Okay. Hey, that sounds like a good time. And go over and watch Max Vision. Thank you all for coming. And let's see what other things that I go check out and see about Disclosure. If you got any good stories, write to me. Tell me if you want to come on. We'll do another show again about UFOs and stuff, because I know everybody seems to have their own UFO story. And go out there, take a lot of pictures. Maybe you'll get lucky, get one, send it to me. We'll do a show. We'll put it on the backboard here, eh? All right. So with that, Doug, you got anything to say? First timer on the show. Whoa, great to have you though.
Other than thanks for having me, it was a real good show.
Oh, good deal. Thank you for coming. And thank you, David, Al. Okay, and everybody else, thanks a lot. Be the frequency you want to receive. I love you all.
All right. Take care now.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.